now. With Celeste being on the table, you still are looking nervously at Lockwood and Helio, giving him shifty glances.
Well, also we had with our last match at least, we had a lot of map specific bans. We had a Gremo band on Flyaway, where Evos Lab is one of the least played maps or least favorite maps, especially in tournament play. So I don't think there's very many map specific bans that you would look for.
Oh, Nick's band coming out from Outplayed. Now Nick's has a pretty good success rate, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he currently has a 76% win rate. So
And we haven't seen him in the last 2 games, which is surprising.
I was surprised not to see him on Flyway, honestly, but they made that pup work. Nick's band coming out. I think there's a lot of angles, despite the amounts of cover. A lot of it's the half cover. Nick's can get into a lot of good positions, and also just the fact that there's so many walls, and Nick's ult can go right through them, where it's
like they don't exist.
Yeah.
Like a knife through butter.
Cover what's that? I believe is his line for it. So
I thought it was 360 no scope.
That's depends on your taunt. So I'm looking at Debauchery's band. Probably Celeste.
Probably Celeste here.
Probably Celeste.
I want to see some more Celestes. And Lockwood.
A Lockwood band.
So these are the 2 highest win rate characters if we look at our numbers from prep phase, correct? Lockwood and Nyx? Or 2 of the highest.
Lockwood 84%, Nyx 76, barely under 77%.
So these are
pick
the 2
and
highest.
ban rates.
So we have Celeste available, we have Finn available, we have our Helio available.
Yeah,
this opens up a lot of comps here.
This is going to be a good draft phase. I'm expecting Outplayed to want that Celeste.
Let's take a look at who's on Debauchery. Do we think that this is a targeted band? Is anyone main Nyx?
I don't think none of them are particularly known for Nyx. I just think that Nyx is a strong character you don't really want to fight. And there's that Celeste pick coming out.
Yes, from Outplayed. Who did we see on Outplayed play this previously?
They didn't get their hands on Celeste.
Oh, they didn't.
It was picked away from them game 1, and they banned away from them.
Oh, that's right. Guy Logic had Celeste. Excellent. All right, so what do you think the counter is? Is there an innate counter to Celeste right now? Counter picks.
Big AoEs are always something you want. Traps are good against Celeste, even though the 2 biggest trap players are off the field. That makes Celeste uncomfortably safe when you can't put down...
Well, we still have a Helio available as well, and we know that is the most picked support, and it covers both of those bases that you just outlined for us.
He is the only one left with a prep phase trap.
With a trap and sort of zone control with both his ult and black hole.
Technically, L's trap is a prep phase ability, but it goes off in the blast phase, so... We don't... Actually, I think we've seen... What's L's? L's only been picked twice and won once.
So with these bans as well, it also makes Oz a safer pick.
Yeah, and with the weirdness that is Evos Labs walls and just like shapes, I wouldn't be surprised to see an Oz. I think Oz would be a pretty safe pick for either team, going in with Lockwood and Nyx both taken off the table.
So this is the double pick here, right?
Yep, Debauchery is looking at a double pick up. Rask.
Safe play here, taking a Rask with his self-sustain. I wouldn't be surprised to see Helio, but they went with the Gray.
Interesting. I think Gray to keep an eye on Celeste, keep her tracked. They want to know where she is. They don't want to let her just sneak off and pick up all the power-ups.
I want to see I would love to see another Oz here from Outplayed and just see it on the opposing end.
Yeah, I
want to see that combo again.
I think Oz would work pretty well.
Especially maybe saying how strong that Oz would be to begin with Lockwood and Nyx both being removed. But they're going to go with Helio.
They want to secure the Helio.
Yeah, you don't want the Helio-Rask combo.
No. So now they need... Their Outplay's probably thinking about who do they want for their black hole delivery system.
Picking up an Aurora here. When Finn's on the table, that's... Seems strange to me.
It looks like Debauchery favoring that Finn over the Aurora. For
Or the
Outplayed,
Aurora over the Finn.
yeah, my bad. That's why I keep you around.
Gotta keep you honest.
I'd like to see an Asana. I think she's strong on Evos because there's so many things for her to bounce off of to get those dashes around people that, you know, they're trying to hide behind a wall, and Asana triple bounces around the corner and just like delivers a black hole to your face.
I'm never sure when you're fanboying or when you're serious. Because last time with the Titus pickup, that was 100% fanboy,
Oh,
though
yeah.
the team comp worked.
Yeah.
But Asana does have a fairly strong win rate, if I remember correctly.
There's that Zuki coming out for their second firepower.
Now, this isn't a terrible pick. With Evos Laboratory, it's not as small as Cloudspire, but it's not as large as Freighter. So, but there is a lot of cover. There is a lot of walls.
Yeah, I know. I keep mentioning it with those corners. Zuki is another character that can deal nice damage around the corner if you just hit the wall. That splash damage. It's only 20.
Especially with the
20 is
delayed
more than
damage
0.
with sticky bombs as well.
Yep. So Outplayed looking at I assume their frontliner pick, unless they want to run double support completely. We've seen it work. We've seen it not work in the league so far.
I don't know if you could do double frontliner here, though, with Gray and her nerfed damage potential. I feel like Gray is almost a hybrid support now with the zone
Hey,
control.
look at that! See, I know things. Asana thing coming
with
out.
your Asana with the angles.
Yeah, I mean, you want to bounce around the weird walls of Evos Lab.
And also, speaking on Celeste and dashing around those weird walls.
Yep, she has that.
There's some escape potential there, and Zuki with the actual teleport with the jump.
Yeah, so that's with that two-phase dash, similar to Gremlison's bombing run, where she can pick a spot and then just dash a completely different direction. And it looks like L.
That's a good counter for Asana's ult. Not very many other dash abilities here, where I feel that L is more a counter to a Lockwood Asana type composition, where they're dealing the bulk of their damage in the dash phase by countering with L's multitude of dashes that she has available. So this is definitely a different comp than what we've seen.
I like Outplay. I actually like both teams' comps. But I think I'm going to give the edge to Outplayed, not only because of the Celeste, but also just the potential of Helio and Asana work really well together.
Okay, I had a strange error entering into the spectate, just so you're aware I might get kicked out.
Alright, so it looks like we're getting ready. We're going to see the matching uniforms you so desperately crave.
I do not. Well, we have some red. Nope, they're not doing it. I had such high hopes, and they dashed them.
Can Aurora do just... Oh yeah, Aurora has a red, doesn't she?
Oh, there it comes. Well, it's purplish.
It's close. Now you just need Rask to throw on a Bloodsport.
Or that awesome
Rage
mecha.
Machine.
Yes, Rage Machine.
It's always the red styles. The red and gray, red and black styles. They look so nice. So I'm really curious about what L will run for various mods. Lots of different ways to build L.
Yeah, there definitely doesn't seem to be one established build for L. There is very flexible in her build I've seen.
Yeah, I personally like the energize or the haste on her charge. It allows her to reposition and just sprint across the map. But I've seen the shields used well. I'm curious to see what dash mod she's bringing.
So there seems to be a good amount of forced movement on Fliffy Debauchery Tea Party.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Whoops.
With L's ult, Rask's knockback, and Aurora's heal knockback.
Of course.
Not much to take account for that. I mean, there is L's drone and Rio, and Gray's ult as well. But no Lockwood traps or Nyx traps to take advantage of that.
Yep, sorry. OBS is messing up.
Are we still live?
Yeah, it's just my team name just isn't appearing for Debauchery Tea Party, because why would it be? Alright, so just getting ready, everyone readying up.
So I'm not too familiar with Debauchery Tea Party's roster here, beyond Thornhold. Do you know how these players are rated?
I don't know. I've seen them. They played well together before.
This is only the only second week that they've played together.
As the full team. Yep.
Okay.
Why is that sideways? Please, OBS, please.
I wish I could see it, but there's a 5-minute delay.
It was just vertical for some reason. Oh god, their name is so long.
It is. You probably have to shrink it down.
OBS is just struggling right now, and I don't know why. Oh. Alright, so, looks like we're going to be loading in. Match found, everyone getting ready. Sorry about that awkwardness with the title thing just breaking. Both teams ready up. It's nice to see people throwing out the have funs. Important to remember, we are just all playing for fun. It is a tournament, but we want to keep the sportsmanship up, and everyone's been doing a great job of that so far. We don't get the matching clothing. Do we get matching titles again? There's the Prospect. Outplayed, just rocking the Prospect all together. So, low tip on L is my most curious pick going into here. L's in a strange spot. She's not considered a high tier pick. Once those dashes are up, she's pretty vulnerable to just taking a whole bunch of damage. And against a Zuki, who has a big AoE with sticky bombs and the big one, her ult, L's not getting out of a Zuki ult unless they're flashing. But we're seeing, just waiting, everyone get right into this. The starts on Evos are always curious. There's both the fact that it's asymmetrical and just a weird map in general. Wondering if we're going to see the aggressive style of Game 2 or a passive style like we saw through in Game 1 where nothing happened for about 9 turns. Going in first turn movement, both teams doing a pretty safe staying together, going to one side. So far, opposite sides of the maps. Celeste doing what Celeste does and snagging that might from afar. You can see none of Debauchery is even bothering with it. 15 shield. Interesting. Yeah. None of Debauchery even gonna bother to go for that. Oh wait, no, I did have it right. Oh, I hate everything.
3, 2, 1, fire! Root them out.
I am very sorry, everybody. So this.
Rebuild the body.
So now we're looking at turn 2. Traps starting to come out. Everyone's still moving pretty safe. Most abilities, nobody's bothering with. Thornholt doing a heal on the full health players just to get that ult charging. 2 squared. Let's see, what did Elle bring for her dash? I'm not going to see it this turn.
Big one inbound.
That big one coming out, not catching anybody. Mostly, it feels like a safety thing. Or, you know, just in case, but I wouldn't expect to see anyone caught there.
Let's play hide and seek.
So we're seeing a lot of safe play in this match as well.
Yep. Both teams, opposite sides of the maps, just kind of lobbing traps about.
Which is strange, seeing that so many traps have been disabled for this through the ban phase.
Yeah. So Lotib, even though they went up against a Zuki, Lotib decided to not run the 2 square dash. So if Zuki gets an ult off on L and they don't have their flash up, they're taking it. They can't get out with the L dash. Zuki is a really strong counter pick to L, and I'm surprised to see it come out. Honestly.
That's right. Stand next to each other.
Well, it looks like we're going to have some final engage here. Finally, some engage.
Oh, yep. They definitely know where each other are now.
Vision has been gained.
Actually, I don't think Spectator is accounting correctly for those smoke bombs there, because I'm pretty sure that Thrills and Ash Jackie are not visible.
We gotta make one helpful report. Generate a helpful report.
Judgment comes.
Oh, and the taunt. We haven't seen many taunts tonight.
So that was actually out of an invisibility fog, out of the fog that was placed down by Celeste. So that might have been a bit of a surprise. Fliffy doing good damage with that Grey Drone.
Everywhere.
Road catching 2 people with the sticky bombs.
Thank you.
Thornholt just charging ult.
And some covered damage coming down
Skid Row
onto Helio.
taking a lot of damage. That slow catching him in a very unfortunate position, just sitting in the middle of the map, nowhere near cover, and looks like they're gonna already burn that flash. Wow, that's an early flash for Helio.
Well, that's a very good counterplay to Helio, or any support without a dash, or any character without a dash for that matter. Is just force a flash early and then chase him down for the free kill.
Touch me and bleed.
Thrills throwing down all his taunts. He's not going to have any taunts available for the rest of the game.
Yeah, just getting rid of him.
Dude, check this out.
He wants his screen time.
Oh, you'll have the
Man loves his screen time.
Bowie doing a nice job of keeping people alive while also just getting that ult charge. I liked, even though Skid Row was flashing out and Zuki wasn't in any particular danger, he still threw the shield on Road just to give him that might. Oh, and he still protected him from taking any damage this turn as well. Lotib getting dangerously low on that L.
Yeah, Loteb has put himself fairly out of position. He's forward of all of his teammates.
Thrill's just going to stick to him, because a one square dash is not going to do a great job to get away from a melee character. So it looks like Thrill's main goal right now is to just keep Lotib busy while the main fight goes on over here.
Yeah, there's so many things going on over here.
I don't think I was going to wait till the resolution phase to parse through what's happening.
Check this out.
So positioning wise, it looks like jeez, what's the name of the team? Looks like Ash Jackie's team is doing a great job of keeping the team together and not out of position. Thrills has successfully chased Lotib out of position, out of the fight, pretty much.
And Road barely taking any damage, but just blasting away with those Zuki AoEs. Poor Lotib. Just that's the L nightmare, is this exact situation when you're caught out from your team being chased by a melee character. Not much you can do about it.
Has Flash been burnt already from Lotib?
I don't believe so, but he's gonna have to now or take the death. Meanwhile, up here, Bowie already sitting on ult, and he's gonna go in on Skid Row, it looks like.
It's looking like Lotib's gonna fall this round.
Ooh, go
Oh,
opting
turtle
turtle
tech.
tech, not a flash.
Not what you were expecting.
See, this is one of those situations when it'd be real nice to. Oh my god, 48 damage. That mighted targeted Ray. Ugh. Bowie not catching his ult with anyone. Not sure if that was controlled or not. Low tip.
Resetting his cooldowns nonetheless.
And the
And
throw.
taking down the Helio.
That's first blood going to Debauchery Tea Party onto the Helio. But Low Tip's still in a very uncomfortable spot. Let me see. Ash Jackie. Oh, hey, they matched their icons too, you'll be happy to know.
Oh.
Ash Jackie not only
I
had
do see that.
super high damage, but still been doing a good job of denying power-ups around the field. That Zuki really showing their strength
This'll make an impact.
this round.
Lotib's been putting down some good damage, but he's also been taking damage.
And he's
It also seems that
Gonna rock you.
they've spread their damage out fairly evenly between Buey, Lotib, and Fliffy, where Thornholt's been very safe the entire match.
oh,
The end.
and even
goes
through
the
the
L.
shield, Thrill's very smart to use the root there because it does 2 more damage, and a slash wouldn't have killed him there. But the root
Thrill's
does.
actually sitting on his ult now.
Hope they put my brain back.
So even though they're they're in a bit of an awkward spot because they were chasing that L down, they can still just immediately re-engage on the fight. But none of their team in really any danger. Road and Thornholt now sitting on ults, and the Gray, the invisible Gray with an ult. That's a spooky thought.
The invisible mod was taken by Fliffy on Gray. Paralaser, one of your favorites, I know. And putting it onto the Zuki, who has the ult available.
I assume that was
The prey returns. I'm at the
a
next level.
ready for the ult. Instead, Road popping second wind. Just not doing anything. That Paralaser not doing any good. Didn't weaken any damage.
Quicken.
No, it didn't. Just a wasted turn.
Road did the smart thing there. Now we got a frontliner battle going down in the middle of the map. But Bowie sitting already about half health, which is still a lot for Rask. But
Yeah, with a heal running already, and it looks like he's actually blowing his second win this turn as well. So he's just here to soak up some damages.
that's exactly what Rask should be doing. But I wonder if we'll finally see a Rask get burnt down this match.
My pain.
Look alive.
And the frontline Helio on the other side. Attacking 240 damage, where Asana has not taken much damage.
No, they were just chasing around. I like that trap coming out. It's going to last for 4 turns on that health buff that you know Debauchery is going to be taking some nice looks at.
Aurora's also sitting on the ult for next turn from Thornholt.
A lot of people sitting on ult. In fact, all of Outplayed has their ults available to them.
They do.
And everyone but Rask on Debauchery as well.
Well, Rask has already used an ult this game.
Yeah, and he's almost back up to another
Yes.
one. So it looks like Road deciding this is the position they want to ult from. Use the Concentrated Fire. A Might and an ult coming out. Crit shot being used by Road. He feels good about this ult. Feels good that it's going to secure some damage. Eldub still hasn't flashed, and he's still opting not to.
I can't believe this is allowed.
He'll be catching just the 2 players.
Decent ult coming in from Zuki.
I shake the battlefield.
Thornhall going to counter some of that damage, but not all of it. Not nearly all of it. Good trap from Lotib just to catch him just a tip.
Wow.
Oh my god. There's that L
That
damage.
damage.
That's why you bring her.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Ash Jackie stealing the health away right in front of Flippy.
128 damage.
So heartbreaking. Flippy answers back with a nice cage, but I don't think either of those 2 moved. Must have been expecting the ult on the group's players. Ooh, but now they're stuck inside a Grey ult with a ult charged Rask right next to them.
Well, that Rask is fairly low, though he does have his heal running.
Oh, looks like a couple ults coming out onto this little fight over here. Road got real low, but nobody stuck on him to follow it up. So it looks like he'll just kind of wander off, probably pick up a heal buff.
Here's the Asana all coming through.
Some more shielding.
It took all of my genius to make you look this good.
Oh wow. Skid Row doing a lot to counter the incoming damage. Oh, I like Ashaki using the shields that were placed on her to just go right through the wall and secure some damage on Gray from both her dash and the incoming Helio ult damage. I like it. And even from that far away, rode over to get 2 sticky bombs applied, with a weaken for next turn on him as well.
And we finally see a Fetter from Arask, keeping Skid Row in place under 2 zones and under Rio.
And Thrills, because Thrills willingly dashed right into that mess, as Asana should.
Immediately queues up that turtle tech. Oh, and then takes it back down because he's receiving shielding from Helio.
Fliffy looking to do a slip away, but not a lot of great spots to go when the fight is happening directly under your drone.
So Celeste is sitting on Safecracker. It looks like Thornholt's large heal here might not do enough to keep Fliffy alive.
I think Fliffy's leaving. Yeah, there's the invisible. And
Yep, you're right.
they didn't move too far. There's that mine coming out from the Celeste finally on top of the Zuki bombs.
Well, Thornholt's finally taking the damage that he's been avoiding all game.
A localized earthquake.
There's that nice rebound.
Not so safe.
Oh, I've never seen a Celeste taunt.
Comes that ult. Gonna be enough.
And a
Thornholt goes
dead
down.
Thornholt.
They say
Oh.
murder is in cold.
More taunts.
Lotip answering with a taunted ult of his own.
So cinematic.
Oh, only finding the one? Yeah, not quite catching Road or Thrills.
Still keeps him under Rio, though.
They're just keeping Skid Row in multiple damage zones because he's also sitting in the Ion Cloud. So it looks like 2-1 in Outplayed's favor at the moment. This map was a little slow to start, but once it got rolling, it has not stopped.
Well, there's definitely been some stickiness. At this point where L has knockback, we had Rask blow a Fetter.
Oof.
I'm pretty sure he has a knockback available here as well.
Echo him.
I don't see Skid Row. Yeah, I don't think Skid Row's surviving this turn. And, yeah, no, he's definitely going down. Securing the damage on him, making sure he doesn't pull anything tricky. Look at that. Around, even though there's a solid wall in between the two of them. Oh! But once again, even though Tabachi picks up a kill, Outplayed answers with one of their own. Putting it
5 turns remaining.
3-2 in their favor.
Now, Rask needs to disengage here. He's way too low. He doesn't have heals running. Luckily, he just blew his ult a turn or two ago, so he is going to be able to dash out. It's available to him. Road is also very low on Zuki.
Everyone's sitting low. The healers are starting to respawn, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. There's that sneaky trap. Road dodging the certain death.
You have no choice but to fight.
Looks like Thrills was expecting Lotip to dash towards that health, but Lotip instead just chose to run right over it.
4 turns left.
No one better have touched my hammer.
Helio spawning close enough to shield Road, but I don't know if there's any damage they can throw Road away, depending on... Yeah, we don't have the hit invisible target, so this shield I don't think is going to actually block anything.
Well, it looks like Buey is in a fairly safe spot right now between all these walls.
That big slow coming out. That's a powerful mod on the Zuki big one. Thrill's going right back into the fray.
Rio coming out. Good zone control here.
Ooh, Thornholt. Nice predict on the Thrills, just assuming they dash in like that. Bowie doesn't know that Road wasn't in that brush, so good option to just check just in case.
3
And
turns remaining.
disengaging. Not sure how Rask is going to find some heals. He's kind of isolated from Thornholt and still sitting on 5-turn cooldown on his heal, so he's likely not getting that up before the match ends.
There is a heal buff available to them in the
All the way
corner that
across
there's
the map.
been no action. So, and again, we find this this face-off between Thrills and Lotib on L.
Let's throw a wrench into the works.
Ooh, that might be a wall kill right there.
Dead from here.
I
Ash Jackie or Lotib avoiding as much damage as possible, still spreading it out. Road getting so dangerously low.
1, 2.
Good evade from the L there.
How Road has so much more damage on that Zuki than the rest of his team. Oh!
And taking down
A
a
mine kill coming out of that lurker drone. But Rask
And Rask.
right through a Helio wall, keeping Outplayed in the lead by still just a 1 kill. 2 turns left. Outplayed doesn't really seem to have the option to disengage and try and wait out the timer, so it's up to Debauchery to get at least 1 kill to keep themselves in the game.
And a Zuki ult available as well.
I think Zuki is fully prepared to die. The Road's flash is down, his jump's not available. He knows he's going down, he just wants to get as much damage out as possible before he does.
Activating tactic.
Wondering if they can find the kill on Lotib this turn to secure the victory. Yeah, like I said,
That's
one
not gonna get
square
him out of it.
dash, not gonna get him out.
Artillery barrage.
Oh, and the taunt. So many taunts this game.
How well did Lotib dodge? Dodge is a 1 move. Ash Jackie finding them. Oh, Ash Jackie doesn't want to risk it. Goes for a smoke bomb, covering their entire dash radius.
What a letdown.
So even though DTP picks up another kill, Outplayed takes game 1 in a very close 5-4 match.
Defeat.
With only 2 turns remaining, or 1 more turn remaining on the clock too. So that was right down to the wire. And here's some beeping.
Yes, the beeping.
So there's
all
Road,
the beepings.
nearly 600 damage on Zuki.
595 and a 212 takedown death blow.
Ash Jackie, nice damage on the Celeste, but honestly, I was expecting more. Road really showing what Zuki can do. I'm going to go ahead and leave this beeping.
Gray actually put down some really good damage on for Fliffy. 475, 414 kill death, but tanked a good bit of damage too with 318 received.
Yeah, so now we're looking at going back into picks and bans. It's going to be Outplayed picking the map, but Debauchery getting that crucial first ban.
So what do we think about how that match played out? Any turning points or specific matchups that kind of brought home the win?
The Asana sticking to that L.
I agree.
Big problem for Debauchery. L just couldn't do the
Escape.
big damage that you want. You bring L because she can do 60 plus damage in a turn, easy on multiple targets, but not when there's an Asana sticking them the entire game.
Well, it's just funny that a firepower character whose strength is the amount of dashes they could do, has no real escape. You know? So the flexibility of L there doesn't pay off versus an Asana.
Yeah. They did. They knew what Asana had to do, and they did that very well. But I think Road, so much damage on Zuki.
Agreed. I was actually surprised by the amount of damage that Gray put down. Almost 475. Or it was 475. Almost 500.
I wonder if we're going to see any bands change. We might see a Celeste band this time. They didn't have the biggest impact, but they still played well. I'm just waiting for that.
Oh, I have to change match ID. Okay.
Oh, and it looks like we're going into the choosing of the match, or the map. It's going to be Outplayed's pick.
What do you think they're going to pick here? What do they favor last match?
I believe they picked the Flyway last game. I could be wrong.
I believe you're right.
So we might see that
Because
come out
they
again.
had slow played round 1 on Cloudspire,
Yeah.
and then Then went ultra aggressive in round 2 on
They
Flyway.
used the map really well that last round. You know, they used the fact that Zuki can get around the corners to hit people. That they're gonna catch people out with the slows. That they had a decent amount of slows available.
Who was on the Asana last round?
That was Thrills
Thrills.
doing his frontline role very well. Just poor Lotib could not escape as that one square dash. Would have been interesting to see if they see that match if they had run the 2 square dash, but it's on a cooldown. Might have gotten them a bit safer. What I bring on, what I like to see on L for that sort of situation is the haste on her overcharge. Because if there's a frontliner chasing you, you just haste and just run. Just don't do anything else. Just full turn, run away.
Yeah, the few games that I play with L, I've played with the haste buff on the overcharge, and it just becomes more of a global presence in a game, where you have so much mobility that you're picking up power-ups on the other side of the map and just trying to play safe that way, where you can re-engage at your leisure.
Yeah, definitely. Just waiting on that map pick. Outplayed being very careful about it. I think they definitely want to take this second set. If they take both games, it will tie them with Guy Logic for second place.
Wow, so a lot on stake on this game here.
Yep. Outplayed going to be thinking this through. Yeah, lots of trades. That was a brutal match. That's a much better match to, I think, to play and to also spectate. It's just more.
Oh, there's actually action.
Yeah.
There's things going on. We get to talk about the things.
Not kill one on turn 17. That might be a new record. I don't remember what our record was from the old tournaments, but we had some pretty hide and seeky flyway freighter matches.
I don't know. As a player, I like the hide and seeky matches though, where it's every decision matters. Not saying that in a ultra high paced match or a more trading match that decisions don't matter, but it's felt more aggressively. It's felt more personally.
I think it might just be I play aggressively, so I like the Knicks. I like the Knicks for my aggressive frontline Knicks. I like the Titus and the Asana because you can just get right in there.
As an old friend once said, former player of Atlas Reactor, the Knicks tank.
I mean, as long as I'm not on Helio, right, Clarity?
Oh God. Let's not bring that up. I thought we weren't going to speak of such things.
My Finn ain't too shabby.
I do not want to hear it.
Decisively
okay, so we have
mediocre.
a map select.
Cloudspire.
Let's change the subject. We have picked Cloudspire.
Clary doesn't like talking about my support play. I have no idea why. So Cloudspire coming out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Outplayed.
We've never played together.
Wants to not waste any time and get into the beating up.
I don't believe that's what's actually going to happen. The small map, it just leads to such slow play, There's so many places to hide in like the 64 tiles that there are on this map, so...
traditionally Cloudspire, the more slow-paced hide-and-seek map.
Yes, absolutely. Not at all.
Flyway definitely forces conflict.
All right, so what do we think about first ban here? Who is making the first ban?
It will be Debauchery.
Debauchery.
So, first ban, not going to be Celeste.
Not going to be Celeste. Well, because they probably want Celeste. Everyone wants Celeste.
When you're first banning, you ban someone you don't want to play against, but not someone you want to play. So it's a little bit different. Because first ban means first pick. I don't know what we're going to see coming out. They might get rid of the Lockwood. Lockwood's still a safe ban. Helio's still a safe ban. After Rhodes' performance on Zuki, I wouldn't be surprised to see that taken off the table.
We're also on a smaller map. We have to take that consideration. So I don't know if Nyx is up on the chopping block. I would not expect to see Nyx banned here.
Yeah, I guess that's a bit less likely. I've still seen Nyx be a big influencer. When your ult can reach half the map.
Well, there's also less places for Nyx to hide on Cloudspire.
Oh, there's that.
So we're going to go with a more traditional ban with Debauchery Tea Party banning Helio.
Yeah. Not surprised to see that. Helio was playing very well last game.
So you're suggesting a Celeste ban here?
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Outplayed wants to play against Celeste. They let Celeste go through once. I don't think they really want to do it again.
Well, especially on the Cloudspire map where even the power-ups are closer together, so and there's fewer of them, right? So it's a lot easier for Celeste to control all the power-ups on the map.
Yeah, oh.
And a Rask ban.
Alright, well,
How often has Rask been banned?
let's take a look. Looks like Rask.
Rask.
Twice.
Total.
Not often banned. That's twice not counting tonight.
16%. So probably about 13 or 14% ban rate. So very rarely banned is Rask, though he does have a great win rate of 68%,
Yeah,
not
you don't
including
see
tonight's
Rask,
games.
you don't see Rask die very often.
Yeah, that's true. I don't like dying. It's my rule number one. Rule number one in any sort of MOBA team game is don't die. So
Tactical feeding.
no.
We saw it.
Don't
We
die.
saw it with the games earlier when they chose to die to secure kills. Tactical feeding is a thing.
Feeding should never be a thing.
I think we actually saw a match where someone played L and died twice, but their team won because they were just kept
Put down so much damage.
instead of going for anybody else, they just kept killing the L, and the rest of their team got to deal damage and not get as hurt. Tactical feeding, totally a thing. That's my excuse for feeding, anyway.
Yeah, however you have to justify it, Pepper. However you have to justify it.
And to, I believe, nobody's surprise,
Celeste pick one.
First pick. So Outplayed mustn't have known this was coming and is prepared to fight her. I wonder what their plan is.
I just want to see another Oz tonight with Celeste. I want to see that pairing again. May have to wait until our next matchup, though.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a Lockwood being locked in for Outplayed. Let's see what their second pick's going to be.
So Lockwood, another safe pick. Road, big fan of the Lockwood. We've seen him do real well on all the fire powers that he's been playing tonight. So Outplayed looking at a second pick. Still a lot of options on the table. Finn's still on the table. Every support but Helio, every frontliner but Rask.
Every firepower but Celeste.
And Lockwood. They already took Lockwood, so.
They took Lockwood, so it's still on the table, though. They already have it.
I wouldn't expect an Oz, but I said that last time when we saw an Oz.
Well, that was with Celeste.
Yeah.
That's what I'm praying for right now.
I want to see that Oz Celeste. Well,
I like combos. I like
Debauchery
combinations.
is watching. That might be my favorite little combo I've seen pulled out so far. I was not expecting
agree.
it.
Just have a safe Oz play, making a bunch of power-ups. So we need Celeste, Oz, and Garrison.
Yeah.
Dream team. Power-up dream team.
Celeste Oz Garrison. Oof. Who else can drop? Who else can drop power-ups? Oh, and there's that Finn coming out. Reliable support pick. If you can't get the Helio and you still want those shields, might as well snag a Finn.
Shields and heals.
So hook yourself a Finn pick.
All right, what's the Debauchery Tea Party dream pick here?
To go with to go with Celeste on Cloudspire. Zuki's pretty much never a bad choice.
I thought we were under the impression that Zuki was better on larger maps. He's just always good.
I mean, with the smaller maps, bigger area for her to cover.
Yeah, agreed. It takes away a higher percentage of the map, and her sticky bombs are even better in the closer quarters.
I mean, you don't have to worry as much about like missing a big one because there's so much you can just plop it down and be like, there's probably someone over there.
Odds are.
Botry, considering this second pick real heavily, they're pretty much everything they want is on the table. You know, they only have the one firepower. Asana.
And we go with an Asana. I like Asana for a front line on Cloudspire. Again, taking away percentages of the map, her dash covers a lot of area on Cloudspire. All right, so now we're back on Outplayed. What frontliner do you like with this comp already?
Titus.
Fanboy.
Yeah.
You just like his hair.
With the Rask off the table and Asana picked away. I don't know, Garrison?
You could steal Garrison from our dream comp of Celeste.
Well, I don't think they're going to run a double frontliner. I mean, Garrison, Asana, Celeste is still a lot of damage.
Asana and Garrison do put down a lot of damage.
Yeah. So I don't know who Outplayed will pick for a frontliner. I don't think Rampart. I also don't think Titus is out of the question because they ran him before to success.
Agreed. Yep.
In fact, I mean, with a Titus on the Finn, depending on the
just keep justifying
mod,
it.
Depending on the mod, if Finn runs the root mod and you throw a Titus in there to just do AoE damage and then suddenly root people with the root bubble.
Suddenly Rooted. That could be a nice band name.
Suddenly root. What kind of band is that?
I don't know. I would think it'd be like a Roots cover band. Suddenly Rooted. Reggae, hip hop.
Alright, whatever, Clarity.
I don't know. I'm talking nonsense now.
Just waiting. Outplayed. Make a pick.
So Clary can stop talking. He's talking nothing.
Yeah.
Alright, so also need another damage dealer here as well.
I think Pup would be a good choice. Pup or Zuki. Gremolitions and Nyx, both still good picks, but riskier. Oh, Gray coming out.
Gray. Again, more of that zone control.
And
no forced movement to combo with the zones they put down, though. Besides Finn's ult.
Finn's ult.
I mean, you can't really rely on ults. It's not, Rask cooldown every 3 turns. You can throw somebody.
No, but
4
still
turns.
an option. Still gonna be that one big team fight.
I'm just very excited to see Celeste again. Her coming out party.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering we'll see tomorrow with the Sunday matchups how that'll go too.
So when is the balance patch happening?
I don't know.
Ah.
Soon TM.
Soon TM.
Yeah. We don't get told that. You just get told that they're doing it.
They're doing some things. And here we go with the Nyx.
Nyx.
And Aurora.
That makes sense. You don't really want... If you're going to have invisibility, which you will have with Celeste smoke bombs and Nyx just being Nyx, you don't really want a Cork tethered to an invisible person.
I agree.
Gives them away.
And plus Asana has a lot of range on her dash, so that's a lot of broken tethers, especially
if
there's some counterplay. And you get your buddy.
I get my Titus.
You get your Titus.
He's a viable pick.
Viable.
Potent.
Potent. Him potent.
So, despite the Celeste pick, I really like Outplayed's comp. I think Lockwood and Finn, both really strong picks, and in the hands of this team, Titus and Gray will do a lot of work too.
I guess if you could be a Titus fanboy, I could be a Celeste fanboy, and I like Debauchery Tea Party's composition
I don't
here.
like their comp. I'm saying I don't want to count Outplayed out just because of their comp. Just because they don't have Celeste. Well, I wonder if we're going to see the first Celeste loss.
Oh, Celeste hasn't lost in the games that we played?
No.
I didn't even notice
I don't
that.
think so. Oh, wait, did she lose last game? No. No, because they got that kill secure smoke bomb on the
Yes, you're right.
The L. They covered almost every square she could dash to with smoke bombs.
All right, so just waiting for people to get into the custom here.
Yep.
So let's look at the combo potential here. We have Celeste and Nyx. So there's not really force movement besides Aurora's heal. So we're not really looking at Nyx traps.
No, they're not. I don't think.
It's kind of a straightforward composition,
Yeah, I
I
don't
feel.
think Debauchery is looking at combos, just consistency.
Yep, definitely standalone characters that don't not work well with each other. Like you were saying with Quark's Tether, this wouldn't be a good composition instead of the Aurora because of the invisibility that you have. So yeah, they play nice, but they don't play synergy-wise. They don't play overly well with each other. On Outplayed's composition, yeah, a little forced movement with Finn's ult, with both Gray and Lockwood zones of control, and just Titus doing Titus things.
I won't be surprised to see Lockwood running the reveal spray and pray now that there's a Nyx on the battlefield on top of the Celeste smoke.
It's a good observation. I like that. That makes sense to me.
You know, it's one of
All
those
right, looks
mods
like we're all
that,
readied up.
It's one of those mods that I don't think I'd ever run solo, but when you're working with a team that and have the communication to be able to take advantage of all the vision.
Yeah, that's what this game's all about, is the coordination.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's solo queue.
YOLO Q.
YOLO queue.
5, 4, 3,
All right,
2,
let's get to it.
1.
Finn looks so angry when he's
And here we
ready to-
go. He does. That's a mad fish.
Yeah.
Mad fish disease.
So we can't see it coming out from the other team. Still no matching outfits. They're settling for the matching
But we have
titles.
all the prospects.
The matching titles and the matching smiley face icons.
They're very happy. They're happy to be here. They're thrilled to be here.
Was that a joke because of Thrill's name?
I don't know what went. Thrilled? Oh, Thrills. Yeah.
I got one of my friends who hadn't played in a while to give this game another shot, and he's a big fan of puns. Told him
Yep.
to try out Finn, and he was overjoyed every time Finn spoke.
So is Muzzy every time that he talks about Finn.
Yeah.
So,
Or
or leads a conversation to talk about Finn,
Yeah.
so he could drop some puns, drop some knowledge on you.
He doesn't like when I drop knowledge. Like, did you know, totally true fact, that if you taunt an attack, the enemy has a 50% chance to just have their dash up? Like, they'll just get it off cooldown? That's definitely a mechanic.
I did not hear that. I just don't taunt unless I'm sure that it's going to hit.
I taunt when I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss.
Do you remember when there was good games available to everyone, like in wide availability, when everyone had like thousands of them,
Yeah.
and we would just we would GG whenever there was a missed taunt? That was a thing.
I mean, I still have like 160 GG boosts. That trust pack.
I do not.
Alright, so once I really already starting to look like it, both teams kind of running away from each other. And
Thrill's got that might though.
I mean, you can't, when you're playing against Celeste, you can't leave it, because she'll just grab it turn 2 anyway. So Thrill's going to be taking the poke from Celeste, but denying her. Well, it's not really denying her. Actually, I'm not even sure about that, because it's not denying her a might.
No, it's not, because they don't stack.
Yeah, so it's the only way it'll be worth it if Thrills also gets some damage from the might.
Slap. Sleep tight.
Low tip, not sure if that tripwire will work out,
And they chose wrong on the Rio.
but because of the way the traps and the attacks came out, they now know where they are. They know they're on the other side of the map.
And this seems very practiced with that turn to Aurora hit for energy.
So even though that Nyx trap did not catch Thrills, it's preventing him from like dashing in or even just walking over. Unless he wants to eat 30 damage, he has to awkwardly go around the middle pillar.
I just want to say again how practiced that turn 1 opening was for the Aurora. basic.
Keeping lined up.
Yeah.
The first time I did that was with Pithos, and he freaked out when he's.
Yeah,
Why
it
don't we just?
was with me.
Yeah, why don't we just go in a line?
It was with me and Pithos.
We're like, oh my god. So teams.
I don't
dangerously
matter
close to each
anymore.
other. Teams dangerously close, but the only vision it's DTP can see Thrills, but that's it. Nobody else can see each other.
You're right.
So I like that. I like this bubble. They must assume that Thrills is in vision at this point. Nice dagger coming out, catching
From
someone.
every angle.
Oh, Bowie dashing right into their face anyway. And there's
Yeah,
that reveal spray
saves-
and pray.
Save some damage from the spray and pray.
Would have popped that dagger. The bubble is indirect damage, so it will not be catching that trigger.
Now you see me, and now you don't.
There's
And
that-
smoke
oh,
bombs.
God,
Only got one of
38
them.
damage. On top of the Nyx spray, Ash Jackie looking pretty low. But there's that reveal spray and pray that I assumed Ash Jackie would have. Looks like they know exactly where Nyx is now.
And Asana gets left in a fairly good spot here for swordplay.
This is where Asana wants to be, yeah. They're not worried about being in the middle of the fight. So Thrills, because of that Titus's lack of sustain, he's actually running the gain health for enemies hit with his overhand slam. Instead of my favorite, the big 32 damage. So I'll have to
He's
take a
trying to
look-
get sustainy.
Well, I'll look at his healing at the end of the game. We'll see how much he was able to keep himself alive with. Ashaki dashing right down the line of the tripwire, not quite activating it.
Attention now.
Popping that dagger. Bowie weak and not trading back a whole lot of damage. And there comes Road.
A mere scratch.
Stealing cases and punching.
And a miss on Fluffy on Celeste.
Ashaki
Grabbing nothing.
Safe amount of damage. Oh.
Ooh, and that big follow.
Thrills is about to take the damage from the Celeste trap. Lucky for him, not sitting on a might. Unless he dashes out. Oh, actually, no. He's just gonna re-engage on Asana. They don't wanna leave Bowie to his devices and beating up their fire powers.
Oh, if Bowie aims. Oh, it looks like he's going to stand and fight, but if he aimed his basic, he would actually get thrills.
So Ashaki is going for a very short early dash to pick up that health and avoid more damage. Oof.
Oh, the puns are real.
Road a little bit caught out. Here comes the eels. Not likely to spread to any enemies with how isolated Asana is. Wondering what mod, if Skid Row's running the supporty mod. Nope, can hit targets that are invisible or in camouflage. A good mod to be running against this team.
This is what you want to do to an opposing frontliner, especially in Asana. You wait till their damage reduction and mobility is down and just kind of turn on them. So even though Bowie was kind of doing the frontline job and isolating a damage dealer, now it's looking like he's going to be done.
Trap coming out from Ash Jackie, that big 2-square trap. The dagger likely to follow their flash wherever it ends up going. Interesting bit of like anti-synergy there, where Fliffy threw down a trap, but then Bowie rooted people near it, but not in it. So now Bowie, out of options for escaping damage, is going to have to try and eat as much as possible and not die.
Well,
Outplayed keeping their fire powers nice and far from the fight.
Did
Or,
make
sorry,
it into range for a
debauchery.
heal.
Debauchery
From
keeping
Thornhill.
their fire powers out of the fight.
Fate intervenes.
40-point heal. Alright, Bowie's not dying this turn.
It's lights out for you.
He did manage to get himself
Oh
into
my
a safe spot to
Thrill's eating 80 damage from just the fire powers. Oh, hello.
some good damage coming down there for the spray and play.
Yep, that 40-point heal kept him alive for one more turn. And I believe, looking at their cooldowns right before this resolution phase, their dash is up. And they're successfully be able to disengage from the fight.
It's either dash or retribution. Either will be up.
Both even.
Both, yep. I was looking at one, I guess you were looking at the other.
Fliffy getting their ult available, as well as Thrills and Skid Row.
Lots of ults coming down
I'm
here.
expecting Skid Row to save his until they can combo with Road. Bowie going in on this Titus, who's about to ult. That's going to be just accepting more damage. He's going to take them all on. Bubble coming out, just trying to keep Thrills alive. As he opts to just deal that big damage instead. Oh, so much prep phase. Still in prep.
Even more.
Nice weeks. That double dart. Oh no, actually, Bowie going to be dodging that ult by bouncing around behind him. Great use of that rebound dash that Asana has.
And still keeping him in
Oh my god.
Steal yourself, or I'll do it
for the heal, rather.
62 damage coming out on 2 different targets. Bowie still barely staying alive. 2 HP.
And
Wow.
Bowie having access to his ult this turn to disengage.
Yeah.
We're actually
Ash Jackie so close.
Still
Must be
Retribution, too.
must be upper 90s in energy. But safe to dash. Relatively safe to dash now that Nyx's drone is down. Doesn't know where the Celeste trap is, but still avoiding it.
And never where you want to be as a frontliner is leading your team in damage.
That's where I wanna be.
245 from Titus.
Titus
Under
does big
100
damage.
from Gray and 165 from Lockwood.
Oh. So dodging a whole bunch. Everyone just kind of disengaging. Thrills dashing all the way to the top of the map. Unfortunately, missing anyone with the Titus dash going to be putting on it on a nice long 5-turn cooldown. Skid Row just sitting there. Doesn't want to move. He likes his spot.
It seems to be a fairly good spot.
Finally, the ult coming out from Skid Row. Looks like they are just going for that combo with the Skid Row and Road. Seeing that big damage coming out. Thrills uncomfortably in that position where Titus gets himself in, where he's low on health, he's used his kit, and now kind of just has to limp about and try and find a good time to re-engage. As a very often Titus player, I know the feel.
All them feels.
Now, Thornhall expecting this combo, a really nice week coming out. So this combo is gonna hurt, but gonna hurt not nearly as much thanks to that. Ooh, not mighted, so oh, never mind. Looks like Road's gonna be the first death. Are they gonna get a trade back on this one is the question.
Depends on the placement, right?
Oh no, the
Oh,
weaken. Thornholt's wonderful weaken. I think that would have even been both of them dead. Bowie stays alive with 3 health. What do they have available to them? Has their dash up to just get right out. Wonder if Ash Jackie's going to catch it with that trap. Fliffy going for a flash onto the heel. Ash Jackie ulting. I really wish he'd just trap here. And I think this is going to be a completely whiffed out by Ash Jackie, but we'll see.
You can't run.
Oh, don't you
Throwing
just
that out.
love
Bowie is
mysteries?
revealed. Now Thornholt will be revealed no matter where they go. Ooh.
Oh, jeez. What a great
Wow.
counterplay.
Ash Jackie not finding anyone with that ult and
And
going
instead
right
takes
through
a
a
bunch
trap.
of damage.
Sitting at 6 health
Just a moment.
in between 2 people on the enemy team. They don't know exactly where they is, but they have a pretty good idea because they saw
Where
him.
they is.
Listen,
Where you at?
where you at? New phone, who this?
New Skype, who this?
No, I'm real good at contacting people by phone, right, Clarity?
Yeah, you're great at answering text messages when we're supposed to be meeting up, too.
And how? All right. So Low Tip's sitting on that Nyx ult, ready to secure a kill when need be.
Plenty of shields coming down this
Ooh,
turn.
that 40-point heal.
And a heal coming
Oh.
in from the buff as well.
With that dagger
Don't
pump,
hold down.
Titus earning his keep with that dagger, securing the kill. But there's going to go down. So Outplayed gets a kill on the table, but still trailing 1 behind Debauchery Tea Party. Bowie should die. No one has a shot on Bowie. Thrills doesn't have his dash. Thrills doesn't have anything up to hit him with this turn, so Bowie gonna survive another turn despite sitting at 16 health, completely in the open with shield and dash on a cooldown. Titus unearning his keep by not having enough range options.
Here's a gift for you.
Skid Row now kind of surrounded by the enemy team, trying to keep himself alive.
Oh, luckily he has a shield to
You
do
have
just
no
that.
choice but to fight.
Thrills not gonna be able to pick up that health that he so desperately desires.
And Buey using his stand and fight to disengage even further from this Titus.
I get handsy.
Ooh,
Single target damage, 60
Even-
coming from that ult.
even weakened. He must have. Does he have Reaper shells?
He had Might running as well, so
But
they
he was.
canceled
But he
out.
was weakened. And normally that's 50.
Will be mine.
So he must have Reaper shells, which is extra damage when they're at low health.
I see.
Yeah.
Alright, so what do we got going on here? They're so low. Buey is so low, but he is doing a great job at disengaging.
Yep. Scraping by. Taking
Skid-
405 damage on a single life.
Skid Row using that healing spray to heal himself, pretty much, but putting down some
wow.
extra healing on Road.
Thrills running right down the line once again, just barely not tripping that wire. Can they secure? And there, yep.
Well, it looks like Buey was expecting that dash anyhow. He did make his basic attack
But Thrills
in
just
that case.
couldn't really have been planned because the drone wasn't down yet, but just barely avoiding. He'd still be alive at 3 health. Uh-oh. Smoke bomb coming out from Fliffy. Not going to be enough to kill him without a might. So now, Bowie's still sitting low, but next turn going to have his shielding and escape available. We're going to see how this... Ooh, I like
This
that
one
trap.
is worth the wait.
A little shock therapy.
That's not going to be enough to keep Bowie alive.
Get lost.
Drill's so low. Going to be picking up a little bit of health from this Nyx corpse. Guess slashing just in case Bowie dash back in on them. I don't think they have vision to check his cooldowns. Oh!
And there goes Buey.
Outplayed, taking the lead now, 3-2.
Don't call it a comeback.
Now Thrill's sitting low, but Fliffy, whatever, can't really hit them without their smoke bomb. He's still going for a shift though. He doesn't need to, but still a safe choice.
Ask Jackie has finally overtaken Thrills for lead on their team in damage dealt. By 3.
Hope you like eating
So it counts.
It does count. It
Ooh,
is a thing.
Alright, so Thrills actually, I forgot about the dash, so good choice by the Celeste to do that dash around the corner, but Thrills flashing out instead, staying invisible.
I will not
Now,
abandon my quest.
Skid Row just took that heal, and Thrills is sitting at 15 health. That must have been a discussion. And Skid Row, one more turn till you can heal or shield Thrills. So Thrills is going to mark Fluffy, who's once again on ult. Ash Jackie also on ult. We're getting to that second round of ults that you see in active matches like this.
Too slow.
I've got a heal running from Skid Row. Ask Jackie opting not to use his ult
Oh.
this turn.
Actually, that's going to be
And
a
Fliffy down.
dead Fliffy. Wow, they burned right through that Celeste. So even though it's a trade, Outplayed
turns left.
holding that lead, 2 turns remaining. So question now for Outplayed is, do they go for another kill or just survive?
There's also only 2 turns left in the game, so
Exactly.
like burning the Ask Jackie ult here on Lockwood to get to safety wouldn't be terrible.
Now it looks like he's definitely going more of a get out. He could go in on the Nyx, but he's just going to go more towards a safe area.
Matrix deployed.
Still crossing that
Ooh.
trap, actually. Low Tip has had some great traps this match.
He has.
I don't know if it's going to be enough.
It's a testament to his play because we spoke before the match that being on Cloudspire you lose some effectiveness on the Nyx traps because there's less good angles.
One turn left in my way.
Oh, Ash Jackie didn't really get to safety with that ult. Might have been a smarter idea to go back into his team instead. I don't see them having a problem securing this kill. Might see this match go. Might be our first overtime of the night. Road dropping his ult on top of Bowie's head instead of trying to find that Nyx.
I hope you like surprises. Scared and
Instrument didn't shoot Bowie. They're not focusing their damage on one target. Oh, yeah, Ash Jackie definitely going down here. There's the slice. Nyx is gonna secure it. Suddenly 4-4.
And pretty poorly. Fliffy was.
Sudden death.
Oh, did Fliffy just respawn?
Fliffy
Never
just
mind. I was gonna
respawned.
say that was out of position.
Almost all of Debauchery is sitting on ults for this sudden death. Very uncomfortable. Thrill's going right back in. I think he's gonna be going to take a Celeste ult right to the chest.
Here's hitching a ride.
But Shield coming in for Skid Row.
Yeah, he's
And some darts for those ults.
Alright, so it's just gonna be regular damage. It's still gonna be 50 damage coming out from this ult, assuming they aim at the same people. Not sure about them burning through this Skid Row here, but they're gonna certainly get him uncomfortably low.
Accept your fate.
Ooh, the root. That could spell big trouble.
Is your head.
not so
Oh,
safe
that is
now,
a strange
are
taunt.
you?
It's a great angle.
Ooh! Skid Row staying on 19 health, but that root from Bowie keeping him completely just not at all in a safe place.
And nobody's actually very low. I mean, Bowie can try to keep low tib relatively healthy with the ulted shield, and try to cover some escape from Skid Row, but I believe this is all she wrote.
Yeah, I don't see Skid Row surviving this, and I don't really see Outplayed finding a kill, so we might be seeing a 1-1.
Behold, an angel of vengeance.
So many Asana taunts tonight.
Sana has some great taunts.
And some great damage.
Payback will be sweet.
So I just didn't expect Flippy to jump. Looks like we're gonna try and burn down the Celeste, which I think probably their best option. Just hoping they didn't dash for some reason. But that looks like it's gonna be it. 22 turns, a bit into overtime. Debauchery Tea Party takes the second match, putting it to a 1-1 split between Outplayed and Debauchery Tea Party.
It's not a
Another
bad
split
time.
tonight.
Two very good games.
What are the stats on first span, first map pick being the winner? Do we have that?
I don't know if we have home and away as stats.
I'd love to see that. But look at the damage put down by Celeste this round, too. 590.
That's what I more. Oh, just beeping. More what I expect from Celeste. All right, so
Very good Celeste play from Fliffy, it looks like. Alright, beeping is too much.
all right.
Too strong. So Celeste still 100% win percentage.
Yeah,